Alright, welcome to another episode of Totally Wild. Been getting a lot of questions about the ambos, so we're gonna do a live feeding. Today's live feeding day instead of the prepared diet in Missouri. We're gonna be feeding these. There's one right there waiting on the food. They know it's time. They know it's live feeding day time. So we're gonna feed these just night crawlers, and we give them mealworms as well. And then we feed them fruits and vegetables, Missouri prepared diet. But today's live feeding, and that's always fun. I guess I should put a viewer discretion advised, but they love the worms, right? And the worms are just a great source of protein and other nutrients for them. There's been several people ask in the comments, one, do we heat the water? And two, do we provide any UVA, UVB? Because they wondered if this top filtered out UVA, UVB. So first off, on the water, we do not heat the water. I mean, right now it's in the mid 70s. Sometimes it gets up into almost 80 because it gets warmer in here in the summer. In the wintertime, it'll get down into the low 70s, maybe upper 60s, and they seem to be fine with it. We haven't had any respiratory issues or anything like that. So we do not heat the water, but then again, right, they have that choice of what they want to do, right? They can get out and bask on this little land area. If it gets too warm, they can cool off in the water. They get too cool in the water, they can come out and bask in the land area and get warmed up. So that's the key. If you have them inside and it's upper 60s in the water because it's room temperature, as long as they have a nice basking spot when they get warm, I think you're good. I don't think you need to heat the water. Now if it's getting down to the low 60s, mid 60s, low 60s, 50s, yeah, you might want to heat that a little bit. But upper 60s, low 70s, and you have a nice heat spot for them to bask, I think you're good. So we don't. As long as you got that heat spot and you're at least upper 60s, 70s in the water, I think you're okay. And for our UVA, UVB, we don't add any. They come out and bask like they would in the wild. Now, how often they bask in the wild, I don't know. They do bask, we know that. Maybe not as much as a lot of sliders we have in the US, but they do bask. And this does filter out some of the UVA, UVB, but they seem to be fine. These adults like to bask, and they're laying good eggs, a good weight. You're not getting any soft spots on the shell. And then, not only that, gotta clean their water out today. But this, if I can find it, she's probably, or he or she, don't know which one it is yet. There it is. So this is a hatchling. It's 2 years old now that we hatched out here, and it's been in this environment the whole time, and it's healthy, good size, solid shell, and it's doing well. Look how bright neon yellow that and orange. I mean, just a nice looking young Sulawesi ambo. This is Sulawesi type, and it's been in here. It'll get up and bask. It'll get in the water. Once again, we don't heat this water either, and we just let them choose. So that's the big thing. Give them the different temperatures. Cooler water, nice warm spot to bask in the sun, and they're good. Now, so if you have them outside, you're good on UVA, UVB. If you have them in a greenhouse like this, I think you're good. You don't need to add any extra UVA, UVB. Now, if you have them, she's out moving. If you have them in a indoor environment, then yes, you need to provide a UVA, UVB light. It doesn't need to be that real high intensity desert UVA, UVB, but just a regular UVA or UVA, UVB light will be sufficient. Now you could also just mix the regular UVA, UVB light and get a heat lamp, right? Because if they're indoors, they're definitely going to need a basking spot. So you just get a heat lamp that has a UVA, UVB built into it, and you should be good. Right? And if you do all these things, you feed them right, give them the right temperatures so they can choose a good place where they can lay eggs, right? You'll get breeding, you'll get egg laying, and that's kind of what we want as breeders, right? This female's laid eggs this year, the other one has. They're doing well. Probably get another clutch here in another month or so. But I'll show you the eggs that they laid a little while ago. So here they are breeding, and this male hadn't been in there for that long. Now, when you do put them in to breed, especially the first time, you want to make sure you watch them. Don't let them, because the males can be very aggressive and very bitey. So you just want to be careful to make sure he's not hurting her too much. So the first few times you do it, definitely want to watch him. Some males are more aggressive than others. So just kind of take that into consideration when you do pair them up. So we talked about there's live feeding, UVB, heating the water. If everything's right, they will breed. Show you the breeding, and then you will have eggs. Now, anyways, so it looks pretty good. Looks okay. And pretty much we just have that hatch right. Now there's several different hatching incubation mediums you can use, but we like the hatch right. We've had success with it. And just put a little bed of it and then kind of push them down in there and you're good. So I'll take this down, put it in the incubator, and show you the other eggs as well and show you how they're developing. Here we are in our turtle lab. There's the baby beetles. Those are always awesome. And here's, you can see it's very rudimentary. We just got these two hovabators, incubators. These are all Conixi's eggs in here. And we've got the Ambonensis eggs in here. So this is the one we pulled out, and that's set in there. I put it in there. And you can see it's just that hatch right. We just keep them about halfway submerged. There is a little pan of water in here. And this is about 83, 84 degrees. This room stays fairly constant, but does fluctuate a little bit at night. So there's some variation in temperature. But I mean, this is it. And you can see this egg here doesn't look too good. Neither does that one. But these three look okay. And these just don't feel right. They feel lighter than the others. So I don't think those are going to be good. We've already lost like 2. There were 6 in there. And then that one, so both females laid. And this is it. We'll just have them in here as they, if any of them rot, we take them out. And then hopefully we have at least a couple left that can hatch out. And that's how we do it. So temperature, feeding, breeding, egg laying, and then what type of medium we put them in to hatch them out. Now we're hoping we got some grant money and we can use like a refrigerator model. Because these hovabators aren't the best. And they work, but we would like to have something that's a little more, a little bit better as far as controlling the temperature and being consistent. So, especially with the humidity. Anyways, that's how we keep them. So you can hatch them out with something as simple as this. It is possible because we've done it. We've done it a lot. But you can also use something fancier if you want to. Lots of options for incubating eggs. So if you got something that works, stick with it. If you're looking for something that works, try different things, experiment. Take some of your eggs and do something with it. Take some of the other eggs and do something different with it. And then write down hatching rates and how they are. That's how a lot of people do it. All right, I hope you enjoyed this episode on Ambonensis. Y'all have a good one.